What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. Let's talk about it. And in this video I want to share the transcripts from my landlord tenant eviction application where I was illegally evicted by Toronto lawyer David Ekpenyong. This guy got involved and directed his client, my ex-girlfriend, to evict me one day while I was at work. And this is where all this whole mess started, was when this lawyer overstepped his boundaries of a lawyer and he instructed his client to evict me. In this video, I ordered transcripts from 3 hearings that was heard before adjudicator Robert Petit. In this video, I'm going to be sharing my certificate of ordering transcripts, the transcripts of the 3 hearings, and the invoice. These transcripts cost me over $300, which I had to order for my appeal in the divisional court, which was all just a big waste of time and waste of money. You know, the first 2 hearings, this lawyer never even filed any materials. And this has been a pattern with this lawyer going on almost 4 years now. The family court case I got dragged into, this lawyer didn't file, half the materials weren't properly filed or signed. The divisional court, this lawyer didn't file his materials. The garnishment hearing that I lost, this lawyer never filed any materials. And then this landlord tenant disaster, he never filed any materials either. And it's just unbelievable that all these proceedings in the Superior Court, the Landlord Tenant Board, you know, what this lawyer got away with, what my ex got away with. You know, my ex's 3 witnesses at this landlord tenant, how all 3 of them were caught lying under oath and providing misleading information. Okay? Robert Petit told me to shut up at one point because this David Ekpenyong, he likes to ramble on and you know, asking repetitive questions, and that's what he was doing at one of these hearings. I forget which hearing it was, but he was going on for 1 to 2 hours asking all these ridiculous questions, these irrelevant questions. And it got to the point where I was a little frustrated, and then Robert Petit chimed in and got a little aggressive with me, piped up towards me, and threatened he was going to cancel my application if I didn't answer these unrelated, repetitive questions. You know, these 3 witnesses, Cynthia Bruns, Jeff Gromsky, and Madeline Wibbs, were all caught providing misleading information to this adjudicator when they were instructed to be truthful under oath. Miss Bruns, when she was asked when she was part of this illegal eviction, packing up all my stuff, where was my stuff found? She admitted, and you're going to see these transcripts, it was in the basement in the rental unit. Okay? And when she was asked what was upstairs, she admitted to a towel in the bathroom, which is absolutely ridiculous. And this adjudicator clarified with some of his questions where I was living. And I was renting my ex's basement. And you know, she did a solid. You guys have seen it in the previous videos. And I was trying to move. I was trying to get out of it. Then you got this electrician, Jeff Gromsky, who did the electrical for this renovation on this house, starting in 2019 up until 2020, 2021. And, you know, this electrician here, this master electrician who works with my ex, they've been working together side by side for 10 years. This guy straight up was playing stupid when he was asked why did he install a 100-amp subpanel that was specifically for the rental unit. When he was asked why he installed that, he's sitting there playing stupid, like, oh, I don't ask my clients why they do what they do. This electrician knew exactly why he was installing a 100-amp subpanel. And he's sitting there saying because, oh, for safety. No, this was for a rental unit, okay? Where my ex lied under oath saying she never intended to rent her basement. She lied under oath saying that she never rented her basement when in fact she rented it to Katerina Bornerick, whose mother, Kim Bornerick, who was a witness at this family court matter, who was also caught lying under oath, transferred $1,400 every month for 1 year, paying for rent for her daughter to live there. And I got a story about this Jeff Gromsky, electrician. So, like I said before, he's not a nice person towards me. He damaged my property one day and he was sitting there playing stupid like he never knew how my property got damaged. I'll tell you guys this before I get into this third witness who was also caught lying. This Jeff Gromsky, when one day, he never wanted me at the house when they were working there. This was COVID. This guy didn't like me because I was dating this woman. And, it was like, I felt like I was in the movie Something About Mary, to be honest. All these guys it seemed like they had a little crush on her, and they did not like the fact that I was dating this woman from 2018 to 2021, where she admitted we broke up in 2021, okay? Which would mean when I moved in, we were not dating. And it's all on record. You guys see the police report. I don't need to elaborate. So this electrician did not want me at the house one day when they were doing work. I had a magnet from a previous electrical contractor, a big magnet, high voltage, the contractor. It was up on a fridge. And this particular day, they were installing a new 200 amp panel. And they took out that old 100 amp panel, which they ended up reusing as a subpanel for this rental unit. And I remember getting back to the house that day. This magnet that was on a fridge, that was on the opposite side of the basement, was now ripped in half on the floor, covered in garbage under that 200 amp panel. And this jerk, Jeff Gromsky, sat there and played stupid and said he had no idea how that magnet ended up there. Neither did any of his workers. But he was willing to replace it and print me another one. That was just such a scumbag move on this electrician's part. And you're going to see in the transcripts how he was lying about, playing stupid about. He didn't know why there was this. His client wanted a 100 amp panel. He said safety. And then you've got my ex's eldest daughter, Madeline Wibbs, who was a witness. And she also was kind of playing stupid about how her girlfriend of 15, 20 plus years was paying rent at this house. And she was saying that, her mother was doing a favor, like she was doing me a favor, all of these things that these statements that you guys are going to see in these transcripts, these three individuals were caught lying. Okay, when Robert Petit asked this third witness, about when she came over to the house where all my property was, it's always in the basement in that rental unit. I put in a previous video on my YouTube channel. There's 3 videos that I had actually recorded in that rental unit. And it just pisses me off that all this has happened. And there's no accountability. When this adjudicator told me to shut up, this tainted the whole case. Allowing Ekpenyong to not file any materials for the first 2 hearings to cause these adjournments. All this lawyer has done is cause adjournments. And this is part of the pattern and part of the behavior. Why he is being prosecuted by the Landlord Tribunal the Law Society Tribunal to have his license revoked. All this lawyer does is get caught lying on record. He gets caught lying to several judges, submitted fraudulent documents. How many affidavits, applications were unsigned, uncommissioned that these courts accepted? You know, so this video, I want to share the transcripts so you guys can see how these three witnesses were caught lying under oath. And this adjudicator, he caught them lying under oath, and he reiterated the questions, and he got the answers that he needed to hear to confirm this. And what did this adjudicator do? He said he didn't have jurisdiction. It upsets me, you know. So that's why I'm doing these videos. I want the public to know all of this corruption I'm dealing with. You know, this landlord tenant tribunal should be dissolved, because when you've got adjudicators telling the members of the public to shut up and threatening to answer questions, or they're going to cancel their application because you got a lawyer who is doesn't know what the hell he's doing. And then you've got these three witnesses that got caught lying, and you got an adjudicator who, you know, when he spoke to me like that, it tainted my whole application. And, you know, this was a no-brainer. I was a tenant. My paralegal simply provided that with all our exhibits, our evidence. And mainly this video is just to share the transcripts. You know, it cost me $300, and to show that how these three witnesses, just like those two witnesses in the family court, were all caught lying. I got 5 witnesses caught red-handed lying under oath, and they got away with it. And this video is to prove, just to prove that. And you know. So if you guys haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. I'm making this channel. I'm putting my experiences out to the public, and I am exposing corruption. I am exposing judicial abuse. You know, and I believe this is all tied into this police brutality case. They're just making this. They're just the slander and the defamation they've put against me online, uncannily, statements from judges that can't be backed up by any evidence or facts. And then they're going to turn around and point the finger at me and say I'm the bad guy. Meanwhile, they've been screwing around, these public servants, these individuals, my ex, this John David Ekpenyong, and they're sitting there pointing the finger at me. And I had no business, you know, being in that family court. This landlord tenant, I was a tenant. I had my own separate entrance. I had my own washroom. My ex admitted I was renting the basement. My ex admitted I had a separate key, and there were stairs down the side of the house to go to this entrance. But it was so friggin' dangerous that she would at times let me go through the front door to go down the stairs to go into the unit. Okay? This adjudicator, Robert Petit, should have been disciplined. Okay? This code of conduct from the Landlord Tenant Board, he violated it. These witnesses, under oath, they said they were going to be honest, and they weren't. Cynthia Bruns admitted I was living in the basement. She moved all of my things out of the basement. This electrician, Jeff Gromsky, playing stupid about this 100-amp panel, how it was just installed for safety. He knew it wasn't. And then Madeline Wibbs playing dumb about how her mom let this girl live there for free because she was doing her a favor and blah, blah, blah. And her mother was doing me a favor. No, she wasn't. I was paying rent. This girl was paying rent. And I'm just, I'm frustrated. And I'm doing these videos because I want the public to know the truth. I want the public to know the abuse that's happening behind these closed doors and what these people are getting away with and what these judges and these adjudicators are allowing these frivolous and abusive applications to slip through these cracks. And you know what? Not enough people are speaking up. And if you guys are thinking about dealing with the Landlord Tenant Board, I would avoid it at all costs. I was illegally evicted. I had tens of thousands of dollars of my property damaged. I had the Waterloo Region Police get involved, and my ex admitted I was a tenant because This lawyer, John David Ekpenyong, who I still think his credentials need to be investigated, got involved, crossed boundaries he shouldn't have, and he instructed his client to evict me when he had absolutely no business doing that. And this adjudicator knew that. Okay? So this is the video. This is another video from Let's Talk About It. And this is the transcripts to show exactly what was said in this landlord-tenant disaster where I was illegally evicted. If you guys haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and please support the channel. Thank you for watching.